Okay. All right, 3.5. One second, I'm getting my pencil. All right. .5. We're going to be graphing inequalities. And before we do that, I just realized, wow, this is what happens when you have a headache and you can't think. Back in 3.4, I should have showed you how to graph lines using slope and y-intercept. Okay, let's talk about y equals mx plus b, okay? If you had y equals 1/3 x plus 5 on a graph, the y-intercept, the b, tells you where to start, always. This is your y-intercept, meaning on the y-axis, the line crosses the y-axis at 5, y-intercept. Now, slope tells you how from the y-intercept, I love my straight line. Everyone laugh. Okay. From the y-intercept, the slope tells you where to go. So in this case, the top number, the numerator, always tells you, numerator tells you up or down, and denominator always to the right. When I mean up or down is the fraction positive? You go up. If the fraction is negative, you go down. In this case, it's positive, so I'm going to go positive up 1, and then always over to the right, the bottom number, 3. Connect it, and you have a line. And if I had y equals -2/5 x minus 1, okay? -1 is the y-intercept, so it starts here. Now, the slope is -2/5, so I don't go up 2, I go down 2, and then over to the right 5. And I draw my line. I want you to notice, this line is going up. It had a positive slope. This line from right to left is going down. It had a negative slope. Okay? All right, let's try one more. Let me get a first. Speak now. Okay, now I'm not. See, guys, I figured out what happens when I mute. Okay, it's me. It's my pencil hitting the wrong thing. Oops, I need a new whiteboard, don't I? New whiteboard. Okay, let's try a couple more. What if I had, and here's my graph. Don't laugh at my totally unstraight lines. It is what it is. Okay, what if I had y equals -1/2 x plus 3. Y-intercept, +3. Slope, -1/2. So you go down 1 and to the right 2. And you have a line. Y equals 2/3 x minus 4. Y-intercept is -4. From the y-intercept, the slope is +2/3, so I go up 2 and over 3. And I draw my line. Okay? All right. Well, what we're going to be doing today deals with just that, graphing lines, but in this case, look at what they look like. 3x plus 2y is greater than or equal to 6. This right here doesn't mean anything. We're still going to put it into y equals mx plus b. It's just that instead of equals, it's going to have that symbol because that's what's in this equation. Whatever symbol is in the equation, it just becomes the equal sign, okay? Which means to get it in y equals mx plus b, I need to move the 3x over. So when I move it over, it becomes negative. And I need to divide by 2. So I get y is greater than negative 3 halves x plus 3. Now, this looks just like what we were just doing, except instead of an equal sign, it has an inequality sign. We're still going to graph it the exact same way. We're still going to start at the y-intercept, which in this case is 3. And then from there, the slope is negative 3, down 1, 2, 3, and over 2. Now here's the difference. This is where, because it's an inequality, we have to do two things different. First of all, you have to decide if it's a dotted or a solid line. Dotted lines are if it's just greater than or less than. Dotted lines are like the parentheses when we do notation, interval notation. Solid lines have the greater than or equal to. So this is greater than or equal to, so it's a solid line. Okay, that's the first thing. Then shade. And you shade according to the y. Look at the equation. Does it say y is greater than or y is less than? It says y is greater than. So consider your line. Above the line is y getting bigger, or below the line does y get bigger? Well, the y-axis gets bigger above the line, so that's where you shade. Because your problem is asking, what is x and what is y? What can x and y be so that the answer is greater than or equal to 6? Anything in the shaded area will work. This point would work. This point would work. This point would work. This point would work. You're giving all the answers that way. All right, let's try another one. You'll see the pattern. What if I had x plus y is less than or equal to 4? Again, get it into the y equals mx plus b mode. So I need to move the x over. It becomes negative x. I have y equals mx plus b. Believe it or not, this negative 1 in front of here is your slope. Your slope is negative 1 over 1. Okay. What's your y-intercept? Well, your y-intercept is your b, so it's positive 4. So we have a point at positive 4. Now, our slope is negative 1 over 1, so we go down 1 and over to the right one. Do we draw a dotted or a solid? That would be a solid. And is y greater than or less than? Y is less than. And this is where y gets less, so it's below. Okay? All right, let's look at something else. What if we had x minus 3y is less than 4? Okay, sorry, I'm back. All right, we need to put this into y equals mx plus b, meaning the x needs to move over. So when it moves over, it becomes negative, and we divide out the negative 3. Uh-oh, we're dividing both sides of an inequality by a negative number. So what happens? The sign flips. Negative 1 over negative 3 is positive 1/3 x, and then minus 4/3. Now, just because it's a negative 4/3 doesn't mean we can't do this. We can still graph this. What I want you to consider is, what is 4/3? 4/3 is the same as 1 and 1/3, negative. So negative 1 and 1/3 would be right about there. Now from here, my slope is positive 1 over 3. So I go up 1 and over 3, and now I stop. Do I draw a dotted or a solid line? In this case, it's a dotted line. And y is greater, which is all this up here, so I shade above. Okay? All right. Now, they're going to throw something else at you. It's no big deal. They're going to throw two of them. They're going to say, all right, I want you to give me the solution for this. And they're using the word and. All right. Well, the best way I can show you is I'm going to do this one in red. So first I need to put it into y equals mx plus b form. So the 2x moves over, and I have 4y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 5. And then I divide by 4, and I get y is greater than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 5/4. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and graph that. But we're going to graph it in red. Okay, so that we can tell the difference. Okay, so here is our y-intercept, which is 1 1/4. So it's about there. And the slope is -1, so it's down 1 and over 2. It is a dotted line. Sorry. Whoa, headache's still bothering me. It's a solid line, and it says y is greater. So it's everything up here. But now we also have this. So we're going to do this one in a different color. We'll do this one in blue. This one's done though. X is greater than or equal to 1. Remember, when it's x and a number, it's a vertical line. The vertical line is going through 1. It is a solid line going through 1. And the worst part is figuring out where to shade. X is greater. Well, x is greater this way. So it's this. Now, the question is, where is there red and blue? Where is there red and blue? There's red and blue in that line all there. So that is your answer. Believe it or not, that shaded part that's all black is your answer, because that's where there's red and blue. Okay? All right, let's try another one. What if my question was 2x, oh, they used the same one, plus 4y is greater than or equal to 5, or x is greater than or equal to 1. All right, I'm going to go back. Actually, the same thing. Let's go back. It's the same thing. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. It's the same thing, except they're using the word or. So where is there red or blue? There's red or blue here, there's red or blue here, and there's red or blue down here. So the difference is it would just be all of that, because they used the word or. They had used the same equation, so I just pulled it back to show you. All right, my suggestion to you is when you do the and or, use the 2 different colors. That makes a huge difference, okay? And that's 3.5. No, 3.4. I know it's Wednesday, and I'm sorry. I will get 3.5 to you. I'm not going to be able to do it till tomorrow. My head is just not quite there, and there's a lot in 3.5 that I need to make sure I cover. So I will record that one tomorrow, but this gets you through at least 3 of the 4 sections for the week, okay? All right. Let me know if I can help in any way. Bye.